My name is Ben Acord. I'm the head brewer for Evasion Brewing in McMinnville, Oregon, and I make gluten-free beer, not gluten reduced. So the majority of our beers are made with whole grains, millet, buckwheat, rice, oats. We have no sorghum in the facility whatsoever. That's one of the things that distinguishes us from everyone else, is that we just do things a little bit different. Try to use as much whole grains as possible, so no maltodextrins, no tapioca, no Belgian candy syrup, unless the beer calls for it, much like the Belgian Dark Strong, which has Belgian candy syrup in there, but that's appropriate. We have a 7-barrel brew house. We're currently distributed all up and down the Northwest, in Washington and Oregon. My background comes from brewing regular barley-based beers in San Diego, so I have a good experience with barley and rye and wheat. So when it came time to brew gluten-free beer, I wanted to brew the best beer I possibly could, and if it didn't taste like beer, I didn't want to put it out there. A lot of our beers are more yeast-forward, if you will, but then also we do a lot of oak-aged beers, which is very different for the gluten-free brewing community. So some spontaneous fermented beers aged in wine barrels with fruit, as well as some unique strong ales aged in whiskey barrels that held a millet or oat-based whiskey beforehand, as well as apple brandy barrels. So just doing stuff that isn't typically done, but giving something back to the gluten-free community that a lot of them can't find. It's very expensive to make these beers for all of the gluten-free brewers out there, but the point is to make something extremely flavorful, and that way people aren't necessarily missing out on what the rest of the craft beer community is drinking, because craft beer is all about innovation, and I think gluten-free breweries are some of the most innovative brewers out there.
Have you been with Evasion since the beginning?
Yes, and so I've been testing these recipes for about 4 to 5 years.
Are you gluten-free?
I'm wheat-free, so I can still drink regular beer. A Hefeweizen would tear me up. I get blisters on my hands, my nose gets congested.
Are you allergic?
I'm allergic to wheat.
Okay.
But gluten, I'm good to go with, so it's one of those unique things that allergies out there.
Do you guys use oats in your brews?
So, in some of them. So our beers have a variety of ingredients. So we have beers that are 100% millet. We have millet and rice. We have millet rice oats. We have millet, rice, and buckwheat. So not everything has all 4 of those common gluten-free grains in there.
What would you say is your favorite flagship among your customers?
Right now at the tap house, people love the Blood Orange IPA.
Oh, I haven't had that.
They absolutely love that beer. One of the more popular ones, I would say, is the Kolsch when it's in season. People love that beer. It's a great anytime beer for me, but a lot of people really enjoy it in the summertime.
What's your favorite style to brew?
Farmhouse.
That was a quick answer.
Yeah, I love those beers. To me, it's really neat to use the barrel and the fruit, if you will, or else wild spontaneous yeast to influence the characteristics in the grains, because the grains that we use in gluten-free brewing, such as millet, buckwheat, rice, and oats, they have a long history of just utilizing those wild yeasts and bacteria, and it makes them for some really great flavors that you typically don't find even in barley-based beers. So it's really experimental, but it's very gratifying for me.
Do you guys have a tasting room or brew pub of any kind?
We do. We have a tasting room. It's open on Saturdays 2 to 5 or by appointment. Any way to get a hold of us, whether it's phone numbers, text messages, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Someone's always there. We can make it work for anyone.
Do you know the name behind the Evasion Brewing?
Evading gluten.
Ah.
So that is the basis of it. So trying to just evade gluten whenever possible without sacrificing taste.
So readers of Best Gluten-Free Beers, how can they buy and taste your beer? Where can they do that? How can they
go to
acquire?
our website. We have a Find Our Beer section, as well as all the Total Wines and Mores, Whole Foods, New Seasons, Market of Choices, Green Zebras. Go to them, ask for us if you don't see us on the shelf, but we can sell in all those locations. And so that is the goal, is to be there. And then once we get a really good rolling client base, going up to 5, then we will hopefully be able to start going more regularly east.
Are you only in Oregon right now?
And Washington.
And Washington, okay.
So just those 2 locations.
Any online sales?
Not yet. We are working on that license.
Please let me know when you figure that out.
I will.
Anything else you'd like to share about your brewery?
Please come and visit us. There's lots of fun stuff and lots of one-offs that are only available in the tasting room, and you can take them to go.
Thank you for brewing amazing gluten-free beer
Thank
for
you.
us all to enjoy.
Thank you.